Hi guys, we're back again for another monthly braces series wherein I share with you the updates of my braces and teeth. And hopefully in these videos, this will give you insights on what to expect if you are in the similar journey as me. I'll be sharing my progress, challenges, and any tips that I've learned along the way. So if you have braces or just curious of what happens during the monthly adjustments or what it feels like to have braces, then keep watching. For this video, I'm gonna start first with what has been happening for the past month. And later on, I'm going to share with you what happened during the braces adjustments. So, for the past few months, again, still my midline is not at the center. And again, it's not an issue for now because we're still on the process of arranging or aligning my teeth. And also, aside from that, I don't know if you've noticed, but the two front teeth has made a little gap, so they're a bit separated from each other. And I think my ortho also noticed that. But later on, I'm gonna tell what happened. So aside from the problem with the midline and the gap in between my two front teeth, I also had a minor issue, although it's just a minor issue, but it's a painful issue, which is the hooking wire at the side of my cheeks. So if you have braces, you'll know that your teeth are moving and it's adjusting because of the wire that was installed in your brackets. And you've also noticed that every month after or during your adjustments, this wire has the tendency to extend at the back. So you might notice that there is a little bit of a maybe 1 millimeter extended part of the wire, and it can poke the sides of your inner cheeks. That has been hitting the sides of my cheeks. And one of the struggles I have with is since the molar ring was attached at the wisdom tooth at the back, it's a bit difficult to place the dental wax. And sometimes if the dental wax was placed there, it has the tendency to fall out. So it was a bit kind of annoying at the same time painful, but eventually it was addressed during my adjustments. So the extended wire at the back was cut, and now it's already perfect and I'm doing great. The poking wire problem probably lasted for about 2 to 3 weeks. So I tried to take a photo of it, and I've noticed that the linings of my cheeks are starting to have a color white because it has been tortured for a couple of weeks. But right now it's recovering because I've checked it, and yeah, another, it never goes out, the poking wire problem, but it's okay. Moving on for the adjustment this month, my lower jaw, this wire has been replaced, and we're still continuously closing the gap between my teeth wherein the premolars were extracted. And I thought this month they're gonna change the wire at the top, but it didn't happen, maybe because they're still focusing at the lower teeth. But at least right now, you can see that the gaps are slowly closing compared to the previous months. So I know that everything is, I think, going smoothly, and my teeth are improving. At the same time, my rubbers at the top, which was individual last month, is now replaced with power chain. So the reason for that is, as I've mentioned earlier, there is a gap in between my two front teeth, and so to close that, it was replaced with the power chains. So if I'm gonna compare the adjustments for this month to the previous month, I think now is the tightness after the adjustments can be more noticeable and at the same time felt because the wires at the bottom were changed, and at the same time there were power chains. Ideally, the lower teeth and the upper teeth, if you close your mouth, they shouldn't touch each other. But right now I can feel that both my upper and lower teeth are touching each other, and it's a bit difficult to chew my food. So it's one of the struggles that I've been experiencing right now after the adjustments. So I don't know if you also experienced that. But aside from that, even with the problems with the front bite or chewing the food, I also have problems here at the side because maybe the teeth are adjusting, and so there may be some changes with the placement or alignment of the teeth. That is why it's difficult for me to grind my food. Hopefully this will be resolved for the next weeks. So aside from that, I also noticed the upper teeth, the gaps at the upper jaw are a bit different if you compare it with the right side and the left side. So the right side has a larger gap compared here at the side, and I don't know how we can fix that, but I think this is also the reason why the midline of my two front teeth are off. So it's shifting going to the left. And right now you can see it's so huge there, guys, so huge. And also, here at the left side, there's actually two installed buttons at the inner part of the molar. Maybe I can post a photo there. So it's not just the gap here that is closing, but also there's a bit of a little gap inside, or in that was the reason why there are two buttons there. And right now there is a power chain that's trying to close the gap at the back. And I think that's the only side that has that, because the gap here has been separated from in between different teeth. Whereas this one, there's only one space here, which is this huge space between the canine and the front teeth. And here at the bottom, see that? Again, it's not balanced, the gap. This is a bigger gap compared here at the right. If you've been watching my previous videos, I do still have that issue with a missing crown on one of my root canal teeth. And I know, and I've also noticed that it's affecting the, how do you call this? Aside from the bite, the angle or the balance of my lower jaw. So just to exaggerate it, so this is the part where there's no crown. And so I've noticed that these teeth here are more angled upward. So instead of like the jaw should be balanced, it's a little bit upward going up. The teeth at the bottom is trying to reach the root canal teeth, which doesn't have a crown, obviously. And so it's not balanced compared. I don't know if you get my point. But anyway, that was it. Hopefully if one day all of these gaps will be closed and the alignment will be correct, then I think that's the time that the crown will be added here back again. And my only concern for that, if the crown is back, then there's another movement that will happen here at the bottom of my jaw, and then that again will cause a difficulty in chewing my food or even the bite, because all of the teeth will again shift and will try to balance its places for alignment. Alright guys, so I think that was a quick update of my braces. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to comment down below. And if you wanted to follow my series, then please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I also upload some different tips or infos about braces or teeth. So maybe if you're curious about it, then you can subscribe to the channel. Anyway, have a great day guys, and I'll see you on my next videos.